Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today we are talking about competitive in Wood Warships, as you can tell by the title of today's video. Now, in terms of competitive gameplay, there's a few options for players that want to do that. There's ranked and clan battles, which most of the competitive players in Wood Warships participate in. Then, of course, there's tournaments like COTS and the spring tournament that just happened. That, of course, some of the exceptionally competitive and really hardcore players participate in. But most of the player base, their dose of competitive is limited to ranked and clan battles. Now, these two modes have been done exceptionally poorly in their most recent iterations by Wargaming, in my opinion. We're going to go through those today, starting off with, of course, ranked. Which, if you were watching last night's live stream, I had quite the time in ranked last night. Now, I played, of the 3-hour live stream last night, roughly 2 hours and about 15 minutes of it was playing ranked. Now on Wednesday night, because it's the summer, I'm back to my my summer stream schedule where I'm streaming on Wednesday and Friday nights now. On Wednesday night, for about an hour and a half, I played ranked, and it actually went decently well. I played a mixture of Palmer, Paulo Emilio, and Brest for that night, and I had a pretty decent time. But last night, when I got to the upper leagues of bronze, it was exceptionally rough for one main reason. Now, in this season of ranked, from bronze to gold, it's tiers 8 to 9. Those are the tiers you can choose from. It's not like the previous season when bronze was, I think, like tier 7 to 8, and then, no, it was tier 6 to tier 7 in bronze, then silver was 8 to 9, and then 10 was, I think just 10. I'm sorry, gold was 10, and I think maybe super ships, or I think it might have just been 10. Anyway, this go round, 8 to 9, all the way through. So what does that mean, dear viewer? That means that CVs are allowed, tier 8 CVs. Now, it is interesting what they've done here. 8 to 9 means that you will be, if you take a CV, you will probably be facing tier 9 ships. Now, tier 9 ships, that's where you start to get into some of the really good AA ships. So ships like Neptune, the Pan-European destroyers, the well, if you really want to be brave and ranked, you can take the tier 9 split line on the German DDs. You could also take the Johann de Witt, that has some good AA as well. But yes, at tier 9, you start to get into some of the really good AA ships. So I think that's how they try to balance it out by allowing you access to tier 9 AA, but it don't work. The reason it doesn't work is because ranked, as always, is a limited, much more limited game mode than random battles. You have, in this go-round, 6 ships. Of course, one of those has to be a CV, so you have 5 ships worth of AA to really worry about, unless the team sits back and camps back by the CV, which is a surefire way to lose ranked. So now you've got 5 ships, a mix of tier 8 and tier 9, to counter your one tier 8 CV. Is that enough? No, it's not enough. As I'm sure most of you are very familiar with, it's hard enough to counter a CV with an entire 12-player team, let alone a team of 6. So what does that lead to? That leads to some very frustrating times in an already frustrating game mode. Ranked is hard enough, having to fight just surface ships versus surface ships, as many a time you of course have, well, it's really not, 6v6, it's 1v11 normally. So you have to go from doing that well to having to deal with a CV on top of that, and still have to carry your team that well in ranked to progress, which is of course incredibly frustrating. And one thing that we heard a lot from Wargaming with regards to CV balance, and this is something that we heard time and time again right after the CV rework, when the player base was asking for this change, that change, and it was brought up, I think, most recently when some players had I think it was in a Discord Q&A or something like that. Some players had asked about the prospects of increasing the size of teams in World of Warships to something like maybe, 15 versus 15 or 20 versus 20 with regards to submarines, because of course submarines, you have 2 submarines per side, 4 submarines total. It takes away a lot of the action on the surface of the map. But anyway, their response has always been, well, we can't do that because a lot of the ships in game, particularly CVs, are balanced for a 12v12 player interaction. Well, Wargaming, riddle me this. If they're balanced for a 12v12 player interaction, why are they being allowed into a 6v6 game mode? Now, yes, I get you're forcing the CV to be bottom tier in a tier 8 to 9 setting, but that's not enough. That's nowhere near enough. The CVs have free reign. They don't really have to worry about losing planes too much because they're not really going to, unless all 5 of the enemy ships, 6 including the enemy CV, are sitting on top of one another. I mean, on stream last night we had a Kaga that didn't care about his planes because he knew, well, first off, it's Kaga. He's not going to run out because of the amount of planes Kaga has, and then of course it's a plane factory on top of that, so he just went right through our A, right through our flak, got his strikes off full bore, and he just kept launching full squadrons after that too. He used his torpedo planes like, I think 3 flights in a row, and he completely threw away the first flight. Half of his second flight got shot down, and his third flight was only missing 3 planes when it took off from his CV. Trying to qualify for silver since 3 days. Fun. Oh, good God. He is throwing his planes away pretty hard, though. Good Lord. He lost a full squadron there. Okay. Maybe this Kaga won't economically work. So remember he lost a full squadron earlier, and he just, gave up more planes, and he still has a full squadron of torpedo planes now, still. Like, he legitimately lost a full squadron of tort planes at the beginning of the match, and he sent out another one, and he just sent out another full squadron. And look, he's only down 3 planes right now. So yeah, that is just so frustrating right now. And it's not a fun time in Ranked at all. And of course, Ranked's always a frustrating game mode, so throwing CVs on top of it, I get they want, every class to participate in every game mode that's in the game. That's good game design. If you have a CV player, someone that plays CV exclusively, you obviously want them to be able to partake in the full game experience. But the way they've done CV since the CV rework, it's just not, it just doesn't work. It leads to more frustration on an already frustrating game mode. And it's one reason why I'm probably, I might top out at bronze, get into silver a little bit, and stop, because it's not fun. It's not a rewarding experience. I have to slam my head against the wall against the CV now, too, in a 6v6 game mode. So getting on to clan battles now. Oh my God. Super ships, why? Why are they allowed in clan battles? These are ships that have been specifically designed to, despite what, how it might be spinned, they are overpowered ships that are meant to attract players to them, to drain them of credits, because as we know recently, Wargaming is trying to get players to spend more credits, to take away sources of profitable credit income, like we're seeing with the Kobayashi camos being, well, not removed, but being nerfed if you don't have the old version before the camo/exterior rework that's coming out later in the summer. They're taking away all these methods of just, efficiently farming credits to encourage players to play mid to lower tiers more in order to, of course, spend more time in the game, because the more time you spend in the game, the more money you're probably going to spend on the game. And that's one of the sole purpose of super ships, to be a credit sink to where you get access to an OP ship. And they're being allowed in clan battles, one of the most competitive modes of the game. You're allowing ships that are designed to be broken into a competitive setting. Which, of course, again, is incredibly frustrating when you have condos running around everywhere with their burst modes that are more than capable of, with French AP, again, French cruiser AP, which is some really darn good AP, able to just machine gun you down in, was it 2 quick bursts now? Yeah, because they swapped the Annapolis and condos burst around. 2 quick bursts now of a full broadside conda into your ships armor. Which, even if you're angled, unless you're in some extremely tanky ship like a Yami at range or a Soviet battleship like the Kremlin, it's going to still chunk you for like frickin' 15 to 20k. Not to mention, of course, too, the ability to set fires using that mode with HE. And it's not even like the reload boost, because the reload boost at least goes on cooldown for a couple of minutes. This is 45 seconds and it's done. And even with the reload booster, you still have, you know, if we're talking about the breast, you still have, what, 10 seconds in between salvos, whereas with the Conda, it's just bang, bang, back-to-back, or the Annapolis, too, for that matter. So, again, it's beyond frustrating. It's, oh, God, it shouldn't be. It's just making the competitive experience more frustrating than ever before. And this is... I'm still talking about the seasons when they first allowed CVs back into clan battles too. It's more aggravating than that. Now, I'm glad there's not CVs in clan battles this go round, because CVs with super ships, oh my god, eagles would be everywhere, and the experience would be pure just pain at this point. And this is terrible for the game, because this is going to drive veteran players away from the game. It's the second night of clan battles, and you can go on the forums, Reddit, YouTube comments, and there's plenty of players complaining about the inclusion of super ships into clan battles and CVs and ranked. These are the most dedicated players of the game. These are the guys that log on every day, play for multiple hours, spend money on the game, and Wargaming is driving them away. And sure, they absolutely deserve to lose these players if they keep trying to press these super ships with gimmicks and unbalanced CVs into ranked into other competitive modes, because it's making for a miserable experience. And of course, a big drive to play these modes is to earn steel to get steel ships. That's why I'm banging my head against the wall right now in ranked. I'm trying to get to the Mecklenburg faster between the steel I get from playing CVs and the steel I get from playing ranked. I could cut the time that I get the Mecklenburg down in half, hopefully, but again, it's so freaking frustrating now that I'm just tired of playing ranked after only 2 days. I normally can last like 2 or 3 weeks playing ranked before my blood pressure gets too high and I risk an aneurysm, but man, I got there pretty darn fast this go around. But yeah, guys, that's my 2 cents on ranked right now. Wargame, if you're listening, please, for the love of God, do not do this in the future. It's miserable, it's suffering, and it doesn't need to happen. Or if you're going to allow CVs into ranked, there has to be some type of limitation on them in some way, shape, or form. Because in your own words, they're balanced for 12v12, not 6v6. So guys, let me know what your ranked and clan battles experience has been thus far. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and hope you're having a wonderful weekend. And I hope to catch you guys in the next one.